So as I said in the intro, this is game number 1 of a best of 3 from the quarterfinals of Go for SC2 Thursday. I'm Madals and spawning in the top left hand position of King Sejong Station. Representing S-Forge, it is IceTea PvZ. And his opponent down to the lower right, the Red Protoss, representing HOA, it is Moop. I don't know what HOA stands for. I want to theorize, but usually when I theorize, I just come up with some funny things. What could HOA stand for? Hordes of armadillos. That's what I reckon. Hordes of armadillos. That seems like quite a good option. Anyway, we do have one drone coming out to scout nice and early. Probe coming out nice and early too. Scouting is definitely the name of the game here. Wonder where these two are going to go from it though, of course. King Sejong Station, a relatively narrow map. Lots of places you can hide proxy stargates and stuff as a Protoss player. Wait to see if any of that is planned. Looks like just a gateway first coming down at the moment. One little drone. Waiting patiently. He's going to try and become a hatchery. Will he have time? Oh, no. Going to get blocked. He will never be a hatchery. The poor little drone. He may one day. Probe firing it out. We'll win this fight. Another drone coming on down. This one will have the pleasure of becoming a hatchery. Already messed up the build of IceTea though. IceTea wanted to go hatch first, is now having to go for the pool first thanks to this block. So some good work there. Coming down by Moop, just being a little bit annoying. But, oh, proxy hatch. Proxy hatch shenanigans. This makes me really happy. Okay. What is this proxy hatch going to be used for? Obviously creep spread. Are we going to get like the full commitment to it? Gets cancelled. Oh, it's just going to get cancelled for the evolution chamber. That makes me sad. That makes me sad. I was hoping that we were going to see like the whole proxy spine crawler rush. With queens out and lings and just general fun. Zella going to head down there in a minute. Take a while to beat through that poor evolution chamber. Simulator, only the one of them. So that could have been looking to go into the Zella play off the 4 gates. The probe now identifying what's up. It's just going to be like, this is a nuisance. Hatch now. 3rd done at the natural base of IceTea. IceTea still waiting. Of course, this is adding a nice little block in overall to the timing of the natural base from Moop. So both players just being a little bit irritating to each other early on. I like a little bit of player irritation at the early stages. A few more shots coming down to this evolution chamber. Down it goes. Meanwhile, it's a couple of shots of damage off onto the Zealot, but nothing serious. Still checking around. Cybercore chrono boosting out. Still just the one gas. Has this been seen by IceTea? He knows there's one gas, but I don't believe he's checked the other. No, he hasn't, so can't know about that yet. He's got his own 3rd, though, coming on down. That was about 4 minutes 50, so a perfectly normal time on that. More concerning will be this probe up to the top right. This is going to be dropping down a proxy pylon. Big, heavy Zeta commitment should be coming down. A 3rd gateway is about to start. There we go. And we know that because of the fact that there's only the one gas. Overlord coming on through. Now, this is a very important Overlord. Needs to scout this 2nd gas. Probe coming on forward. Going to drop down a pylon now. This is a very close pylon. Mothership Core going to try and save the probe. Now going to try and save that pylon. Warp Gate Tech nearly finished up. Only a couple of seconds off. Spine already getting started up, but without the 3rd done yet, it's going to be tough to hold this. No Spine can get in position there. One lone Zergling managed to make it through. Actually, no, did a sentry die there? Wow, okay, a sentry died. Must have been more than one link coming across there. All those warp gates morphing on in. 3rd base has been cancelled. Already the damage being done. Additional emergency spine crawlers coming on through. But spines aren't the greatest up against zealots, especially when there's a fair few of them. Admittedly, not a massive concern yet, as there aren't a tremendous number of them as of yet. But that can quickly change, especially when there's only going to be zealots helping defend this. Another pylon coming in even closer. More warp-ins from the zealots on their way too. The longer these Zealots just prevent a third base, the better it actually is for Moop. Because Moop, he's already on 2 bases. And as a Zerg, you want to be a base up, obviously, on Protoss players. Having both pylons up is also really important. Because even if this one dies, the Zealots can just keep on coming forward. Be interesting to see where they go for this. Decide against it. 3 spines, 2 queens is quite a lot. A few more Zealots warping in, but the Roach one isn't yet done. That means no Roaches. A couple of Lings getting taken down here. Some nice damage. Of course, the spines can buy a lot of time. More Zealots warping on in. Surprised there wasn't a couple of Stalkers coming in there just to help with these spines, but all good. Regardless, Roach is now on their way. Can they get there in time? The Zealots will deal quite well with these spines once they start connecting with them. Transfuse is coming on through though. That is certainly a lot nicer. The Zealot's not actually focusing a single spine. That's maximizing the damage that the spines can do back. 2 of the spines going to fall pretty quickly though. The Mothership Core helping steal through with this. More Roaches also on their way. The Roaches can back away for a long time. Unfortunately, both Queens will get taken down. Moop at the moment getting some really solid damage out here. Trying to pick off a couple more of these drones, if at all possible. The Roaches attempting to deal as much damage as they can. Some Stalkers getting warped in as well now. That's going to help up against these Roaches. Time Warp being used. The aim will likely be this natural base. If that falls, it's all but over in this first game. There's not much a Zerg player can do to come back. GG at the side of the Stalkers, and Moop takes game number 1 of this best of 3.